Nice to be with you for NBL Now as we take a good look at the Asia Cup. Australia in action tonight against Qatar. This was no regulation dead rubber sort of game. This had a little bit of everything, and we are going to break it down straight after the final buzzer. I'm Jack Heverin. Damon Lowry, great to see you. A bit of a slippery game, this one for the Boomers.
Yeah, Jack, my man, good to see you, man. Yeah, I love tournament play, right? Because you just literally never know what you're going to get. Qatar comes out, they know they're out of the tournament. All they have to play for is pride, and that is the most dangerous team, the team that has nothing else to lose. So I thought they took it right up to us, man. They got up, they got physical with us early. They was there to play, but over time, we literally wore them down. We weathered their storm, and we wore them down, and talent prevailed.
110-82, the final score. For those who didn't catch the game, Australia led by 2 points at quarter time, won the second quarter by 1 point only. So 3 points the difference at the half. And Damon, it's got to be said, there were times where Qatar really got under the skin of Australia.
And that is my biggest worry. If I'm Adam Caporn, out of all the things that could go wrong, I like to think, what could go wrong? What is our worst possible trait? We know we are offensively, and we know who we are defensively. Who are we, Jack, when the proverbial hits the fan and teams figure, you know what, we can't compete with you athletically. We can't compete with you on the glass. How about we just maybe try to beat you up a little bit? You know what I mean? What do we got to lose? So I feel like we got a little bit too hot-headed at times, and that is when we're at our worst. Luckily, we had the common influence of Xavier Cooks out there on the floor, because it could have been scenes from the Philippines back in the day.
I must admit, when I was watching in the first half, I did get flashbacks to what happened. And shout out to Daniel Kickett if you're watching or listening to this. But Will Hickey got involved in an incident with Brandon Goodwin that had the potential to boil over. And then just before halftime, out of nowhere, really, Harry Wessels gets an unsportsmanlike foul for a stray elbow. There were a couple of moments there that I think the Boomers would probably like back.
Poor old Harry Wessels. First, let's go to Davo. So what Davo, I don't know what happened off the ball behind the play or possession before that, but what Davo did, like we see in Australia, Jack, all the time, that is no big deal. But Goodwin took mighty offense to it, charged at him 100 miles an hour, and had Xavier Cooks not been standing there and grabbed him, it would have been a collision, and we know that Davo's not taking a backward step. So kudos to Cookie. Now, Harry Wessels, I thought, was unlucky. Like, the guy kind of grabbed his arm a little bit. He kind of just, you know, he's 6'11", 7 foot. He just kind of making space. And the referees are getting sucked into a lot of flopping. Guys are putting their heads next to people's elbows. Wessels got caught with another one I thought was very unlucky. But when things are getting heated like that, we got to be poised. Emotional control is what we need in the moment. And I thought we lost the plot a little bit. Capes got a tech. It could have been a bench tech. Somebody said something they shouldn't have said. So we just need to just make sure, getting to the finals, that we really keep our head.
And I think that judging from what we've seen in the tournament, Damon, but particularly tonight, there were more whistles than Ibiza Festival tonight. Like, it's going to be a heavily officiated Asia Cup by the look of it.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Like, we've seen it all. All these guys are veteran players. In college, some of the guys fresh out of college, like Rain Smith, they're probably used to a quicker, softer whistle. Then you got your NBL guys that's used to, a different whistle. You got your European guys. Everybody's got to get on the same page and just say, look, collectively, let's not get sucked in. Simple as that.
Let's talk positives then for the Boomers. And the big positive of these group games, all three of them, is Jaylin Galloway, who missed so much of last year with a shoulder injury for the Sydney Kings. He is back, Damon, in a serious way. Another 24 points tonight. He shot the ball well. And maybe it's in this tournament, he's going to put someone on a poster that will live forever.
Jack, man, I'm telling you, I'm just sitting here. I'm running out of adjectives. I'm literally shaking my head in disbelief at how good this dude is playing. I don't know how you guard him, man. He's making his threes. You run at him. You try to run him off the line. He just sidesteps and shoots another three. Then he freezes you, and because his first step is literally nitroglycerin, he blows by you. He's on the rim with his left hand. And then the dunk he got, whoever hasn't watched this game, I know it's going to do the rounds on the socials. The in and out, he froze that guy. He sent him to the upside down world and Stranger Things. And then he just cook dunked it. I was like, what can't this dude do, man? And then he's on the other end, Jack, playing defense like a maniac. An unbelievable tournament so far Jalen's having. Long as his health stays 100%, man, we are looking at a very, very special NBL 26 season out of him.
We most certainly are, and I think there's be a few other Sydney Kings players who might start to feel the pinch a little bit if Jaylin Galloway is in this sort of form. The other that relates to this season will be Rain Smith, who again had a fantastic night tonight, shot the ball well. He and Jack McVeigh seem as though they're finding a little bit of synergy as well, which is going to be fun for Taipans fans this season.
Yeah, the Tropics just got a whole lot nicer. A nicer place to visit now the Rain's in town. Now, him and Jack, we already know what Jack's work is like. Champion, we know what Jack's like. We have not seen what Rain is capable of. Like, you can YouTube him, you can check out some highlights from Louisville, but what we're seeing from him now is this guy needs no space. What I love about his game, Jack, is A, he's poised. B, his footwork, man. He can shoot it going left, shoot it going right, shoot it on the hop. Beautiful stroke. His arc is lovely coming from a guy who wasn't that good of a shooter, but I know good shooter when I see it. And Adam Caporn has ran some real nice, funky kind of stuff to get Rain some shots. So it is great synergy being built right now between Jack and Rain. And Adam Ford, like I said, is rubbing his hands together. He can't wait for the season to start.
Oh, he's going to be running some stuff for Rain Smith to get open. No question about that. One thing, you say you might not have been one of the greatest shooters of all time. One thing you could do is handle the ball, Damon, and organise an offense. So tell us a little bit about what you're seeing for Will Hickey running the point. Played a lot of minutes tonight, 21 minutes. Owen Foxwell played 18, but didn't have a huge say on proceedings. But Will makes things happen every time he's out there on the floor. Do we have to be prepared to just kind of take the occasional turnover or the occasional mistake alongside all the good stuff?
That's a good point, Jack, because, Davo's an emotional, instinctive player. He plays off instincts. Now, this isn't to say he isn't cerebral, because he is. But because he goes a million miles an hour most of the time, he gets himself into a little bit of trouble. A little bit lackadaisical at times with some of his pick and roll passing, had a couple of turnovers. And then once he got into that physical altercation, I figured, okay, now which Davo are we going to get? I just feel like, and he's still a relatively young man as far as a professional goes. But you're right. You got to break an egg to make an omelet, and sometimes you got to take the good with the bad with Davo. But I'm telling you, it's going to be way more good than bad.
So in a game where a lot of the bigs didn't have a huge influence on the game, Will Magnay was solid, Jack White was solid. We didn't see many minutes from Josh Bannon. It was a performance that got the job done. Australia remain undefeated. Group stages are next, though, Damon, and things will start to get a little more competitive and a little bit more interesting. Is there anything that's concerning you as we head towards Tuesday?
No, I'm feeling pretty confident in the group. We needed a gritty, ugly, grimy game like this one because everything was way too easy, Jack. Everything was too smooth. I don't like it when things are like that. We needed some type of adversity. We got it in the first half. We weathered the storm, and then we went on and blew them out. Now, what I like about the team is Xavier Cooks didn't like totally dominate from a statistical point of view, but he and Jack White, they're common influences, I feel, in this group. Now, Jack McVeigh is also another emotional leader. When Jack is up and about, he's pumping his fist, he's flexing, doing all that kind of stuff. When he's quiet, we don't really know what kind of impact he's having. But Xavier Cooks is the guy that can put his arm around his teammate, Jaylin Galloway. He can put his arm around Davo Hickey, Wollongong dudes, Sydney dudes, and they can all kind of go, hey, let's just make sure we good. So I like Zay being almost like another guard coach out there on the floor.
Before we finish up, New Zealand just continue on their merry way at the moment. They're in Group D. They're undefeated after their 3 games. Did a number on Chinese Taipei. 118-78 was the final score there. The notable performance for New Zealand was Flynn Cameron, 28 points, and he was in really, really nice touch today.
Yeah, Flynn had a great second half. I think he only had 6 or 7 points at the half. And he just, from all over the place, offensive rebound here, nice little right-hand dunking in transition. 3 balls. Flynn is going to go to Adelaide, and he's in a very stacked kind of a backcourt, but he's letting the coach know, Mike Wells know, I'm ready to go, man. Good international experience with Flynn. And the biggest, funniest thing I've enjoyed so far watching the Kiwis play, New Zealand play, is listening to Pero Cameron give his son next to no love. He is not overly excited about anything, Flynn. I don't even think he said his name. So, but Flynn's playing some good basketball, and New Zealand, they just running into some form. And, Jack, we could be on a collision course.
We could be, and Mojave King was 4 of 6 from outside today, so he continues. And I know Pete Hooley's hosted the first couple of episodes, so I'll do the Taylor Britt thing for Pete Hooley and talk about Taylor Britt again because he's playing well. So there is a world where we collide with New Zealand pretty soon.
Taylor Britt didn't have the massive game he's had the last 2, but you can just tell how dangerous he is. They do a good job of spreading the floor. He ends up with the ball in the middle pick and roll, and he has turned the corner, getting into the key, creating all types of havoc. And Mojave King, another guy who's 20 points on any given night, shooting the 3-ball well, almost like the New Zealand version, Jack, of Jaylin Galloway. Almost. I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying similar kind of roles. Get some good play from Matai as well as Big Ben Gold. Now, the Kiwis are looking good.
So there's a handful of group games still to be played out. One more tonight for those listening to us on the Sunday night. 3 on the Monday and 1 or 2 on the Tuesday. So then we know what it looks like for the quarterfinal stages from there. And Australia in New Zealand is very much on the horizon sooner rather than later. Damon, thank you for staying up late. Great to chat to you, and we'll get together again in a couple of days' time.
My man.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks for being with us.